Welcome and thank you for joining us for the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. Tonight, Ecuador in chaos. This as the government and drug cartels declare war on each other. This week, armed men invaded a television station and its live television broadcast. There you see it. The attackers displayed guns and explosives on live television for 15 minutes. As a result, Peru has now declared a state of emergency, allowing military to help police improve control at the border. Several schools, stores, and schools remain closed. Joining us to talk about it here from the University of Houston downtown, Professor Dr. David Branham and Executive Director of Houston, Cesar Espinosa. Glad to have you both here on The Factor Uncensored. For those who may not understand what's going on here, Dr. Branham, tell us the basis. How did we get here in Ecuador?
Well, this is directly related to drugs on this level, because Ecuador is a fairly affluent country. I mean, it's not rich, but there is money, but it didn't suffer. It suffered pretty badly during the COVID shutdown. So the economy started to struggle, and the drug trafficking started getting bigger and bigger. The gangs started coming together, and it really just started going out of control. And here we had a safe country who was doing very well quickly turned into a country that's is struggling, and we basically have a country that's a war zone where everyone, including civilians, police, the drug gangs, the 22 gangs that President Noboa is talking about, they are all at war right there in this little country, and it's just devastating for the country.
And Cesar, if you can point out one thing that ignited this, what we're seeing where they've walked into a television station brandishing guns and even dynamite, threatening to kill people, taking other people hostage all around the country. What do you think ignited this?
Well, first of all, it's very surprising to see, what Ecuador was 5 years ago and what it is today. 5 years ago, it was considered one of the safest countries in South America, and now it's considered one of the most dangerous. So that's interesting to see. The second thing is that, I didn't know anything was happening to Ecuador until we saw the images, which at first I thought was a joke. I thought it was pranksters.
I thought it was a joke too, because it's so over the top.
Absolutely. And then when you see the anchor's face and when you see people lying on the ground, then we realize that it's a real thing. But what happened in the last couple of days was one of the cartels, one of the main drug lords, escaped prison. And if we see how he was in prison, he wasn't even in prison. Like, he was convoluted with the people around him. Just recently, I saw clips of how his New Year's went, how his Christmas was, their fireworks.
He was chilling.
Paintings. He was chilling in prison. And so I think, unfortunately, we see the unfolding again of corruption in some of these countries that, convolute with organized crime. And then at the end of the day, you can't tell who's who.
And of course, as a result of this, Dr. Branham, the United States has issued, the State Department issued warnings. Do not go there to Americans.
Well, it's the most dangerous country in South America now, in just short time, just like Cesar was saying. So it's dangerous to go there. Don't go there unless you absolutely have to. It's dangerous for everybody, and it's very sad to see what can happen to a country in a very short period of time with drugs and a few other variables that went against them, like the pandemic.
And can you recover from this? Obviously, you can get control, but your reputation will suffer for a while.
Well, President Noboa is gambling. When you go to war against 22 gangs, most of the time that's very difficult. A lot of times gangs will take care of each other without you doing anything. Now they are at war with the government as well, and this is a big gamble. I mean, the legislature isn't really with him on this, so I'm really hoping the gamble pays off. I want him to be able to have success. Ecuador is a beautiful country. It's amazing. It's right there on the equator. I mean, it's a place where hikers go, and all of that's been ruined. So I am hoping for his success. So we'll see.
And of course, Cesar, if he is going to war with the gangster president, his life is on the line.
It absolutely is, and this is only going to get worse before it gets better as the drug trade continues to grow, as consumerism here in the United States continues to grow, and we haven't even begun to talk about the consequences this could have to migration. We've seen in politically turmoil countries like Venezuela, Guatemala, people start coming, and so what I expect to see in the next couple of years is for there to be an influx of Ecuadorians fleeing now from the immense violence that they may never recover from.
And coming here to Texas and into the United States as well.
It could very well happen.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor.